Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shemi Shai, Wahab Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of GreatMillStone. Honors your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a quick video, or relatively long video, going into revenge, but more than just revenge, it's payback. Okay, because I was really looking for an article to go into this this topic as a reference point, and I couldn't find what I want. But it was along the lines of when you see statements like Bill Cosby needs to pay, or I forget the football player his name that had killed the white girl. Okay, and obviously going into the politics between countries. Okay, when America says a particular country needs to pay. So those was going to be the articles I was going to use as a premise. But it seems, the Spirit wants me to just go into the scriptures, because pretty much it's a topic you could just do straight off of the scriptures. Okay, so the point that I would have used, or the point I would have tried to get with those particular articles, which I can get with just the scriptures, is the fact that it's not just a thing of Iran needs to pay relative to America, or Bill Cosby needs to pay relative to so-called white people, or whatever nation. Okay, is actually you Edomites, you so-called white people, that need to pay. Okay, in this new era of so-called political correctness, it's as though people have forgotten the atrocities that the so-called white man has done throughout the four corners of the earth. Now it's that they know him, but in the era of new political correctness, okay, those things are not in the forefront anymore. However, what's in the forefront is the hypocrisy of it. Because here it is, you have a whole ocean, okay, the size of France or whatever, filled with plastic, and you got fish dying and all kind of animals dying as a result of that. That was a direct result of you Edomites, okay? Here it is, you had it to where millions upon millions of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans were slaughtered, and nobody paid retribution for that. Okay, they're talking about, and I might even use that as a premise. I might use this as the title, in that they're saying Assad committed, war crimes against his people. But hold on a minute, didn't the American people commit all kind of atrocities against the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans? Worse atrocities than any other country that's ever been on the earth. Okay? When you compare that, the chemical attacks versus the enslavement of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, who needs to pay? That's gonna be the title. The Assad attacking his people versus slavery. Who needs to pay? That's gonna be the title, man. Okay, because when it comes down to it, even if Assad did do all of them things, or even whatever country they went up into that they deemed that they wanted, they needed to avenge themselves off of, or whatever individual that they put in prison because they felt that he had offended them, okay, it pales in comparison to what they've done to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. It pales in comparison. And see, the Mosai Yahweh Shemi sees. Here it is, you got to go to work for this devil and play the game of pretend, and as though these people didn't have your forefathers in hardcore captivity at that. We ain't talking about some captivity where you was just pouring drinks and, okay, you go out there and you see your family. We're talking about hardcore captivity. We're talking about they was cutting babies that are pregnant women. Okay, they was cutting off feet. Okay, they was cutting off your penis. They was burning you. They was lynching you. Okay, and those are just the things that's been recorded. And they're trying to get that out of the history books now. But see, the Mosai remembers that. See, the Mosai is the one that's got the story stored up. So you can't eradicate that from the Mosai's memory. And as you're going to see within these scriptures, the Mosai set up a great vengeance for those things. Okay, so seeing it is a righteous thing with the Mosai to recompense them that trouble you. Okay, so it's a righteousness unto Yahweh Shemi Shai that the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are going to be avenged of him. Okay, in that the Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to be the avenger of our people. And I'm doing videos like this all the time, man. Okay, I like the premise. So I'm not gonna get. Once I get bored of it, I'll get bored of it. But I'm into these revenge style videos at the minute. Okay, because the so-called white man's tab is up, man. Okay, all of these things that you've done to, and especially you could talk about how what they've done to Afghanistan. You could talk about what they've done to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You could talk about that, but what they did to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, that's a thing that it's so bad that they trying to remove it out of the history books. That's how bad it is, man. All kind of jakes were killed, man. Okay, this is Revelations 13:9 and 10. It says, if any man have an ear, he that leadeth into captivity, so we was led into captivity, into slavery, okay, shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword, all right, a sword is a killing is a killing instrument, right? A large knife used for killing animals or cutting up flesh, a small sword distinguished from a large sword, etc., etc. Okay, and the modern day sword is the ICBM nuclear missile, okay. But in any event, or the gun, or whatever, he that leadeth into captivity, he shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword, or a gun, or whatever, shall be killed with the sword. Okay, here is in the patience and the faith of the saints. So that's what we look forward to, that the Most High was gonna do punishments and reward this man upon his head. Okay, so you got these guys out here, these cats. They always feel like they gotta go into somebody else's country because you know they gotta do something over there that's gonna apparently balance the scales of justice. Look, the scales of justice are weighed heavy against you, man. And as soon you're gonna find out that the Most High is gonna reward you, and he's gonna reward you double, and even more specifically America, because that's the main hub. That's Babylon right there. That's the main place Esau dwells at, and he uses that country to oppress the world. Okay, Revelations 18:6, it says, reward her even as she has rewarded you. Okay, so we was rewarded off of this place, which is America, of which when you go into reincarnation, basically all of them tribes were you know, basically everybody within the nation would have went through that captivity, man. Just because you are descendant out there from Africa don't mean, you know, you didn't go and serve captivity in America. I'm not saying that as doctrine, okay, but it's possible that you would have served captivity out there in America via a process called reincarnation. Remember, they was killing millions of jakes in a year, so you know them spirits have to come from somewhere. Now, I'm not pushing that, okay, but it's just an idea in the top of my head. You know, brothers tell me if that's, you know, if it's off, I'll put a retraction in there, okay. But that's, you know, when you think about reincarnation, it makes me think about that, okay, because you had jakes all over the world, and a particular portion got taken out there into the Americas, but them spirits, you know, they're all Israelite spirits, okay, and the scripture says we was all gonna go into captivity, man. So all of us went into captivity, you know, just off of the thought of my head, okay, in America. Okay, so it said, reward her even as she has rewarded you, double unto her according to her works. Okay, so you know, they made us drink off that cup of adversity, man, of captivity. So they're gonna drink, and they're gonna swallow down. Okay, according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. So they're gonna get a double portion of that hell, man. They're gonna get that double L. Okay, they're gonna get put into slavery, man. Okay, so let me get this within the book of Jeremiah. Now this one's gonna be difficult because I gotta find the precept. Oh, here we go. Jeremiah 49:12. It says, for thus saith Yahweh Shemi Shai, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken it. All right, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? And that basically sums up the spirit of this video, because their thing is that they're not going to be punished, and they're going to go and punish other people for what they did. Okay, names that come to mind: Bill Cosby. Forget this footballer. Afghanistan, Syria. Okay, whether it be countries, businesses, any business or country, or especially if it's a Negro, Hispanic, Native Americans that's spearheading that adventure. Okay, that's spearheading that enterprise. They're gonna come down heavy upon that if you don't go down with the so-called status quo. Okay, which is to what? Which is to bow down basically to Baal. Okay, and or more specific to the to the point, the killing of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, so it says here, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken it, and that art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished. Okay, but they shall surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra, okay, all right, Basra, the sheepfold, a town in Edom, okay, also a time in Moab, okay, so, but we know this is talking about Edom, okay, for I've sworn by myself, all right, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. So how do we know it's talking about America? Okay, because when we go into the book of Revelations, when we go into the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, okay, and we go to the latter part, it says here, Isaiah 13 and 19, it says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdom, shall be as when the Most High overthrew the child, the beauty of the Chaldees shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and it shall never be inhabited, and shall never be dwelt in generation to generation. And what you find out about the historical Babylon is that this didn't happen to it. And all the scholars agree, okay, with our doctrine, okay, with the teachings at GreatMillStone, that that this is talking about a future Babylon, because this ties in nicely with what? With Revelations, the 18th chapter. Okay, so they know that this is not just the Babylon that existed within the history. This is the Babylon that was the mystery Babylon that was going to come within the future, which we know through the scriptures and the prophecies to be America. Okay, the chief place of Esau. Okay, which also can be called Basra, also can be called Egypt within the scriptures, also could be called Assyria, because there was all prominent places within the history. Okay. So, you know, this is a prominent place, which is America. So what do you think he's going to call him? Is he going to say America within the scriptures, or is he going to call it by the names that they knew of that day? Okay. He says, it shall never be neither shall the Arabian pitch his tent there. Okay. Neither shall the shepherd make their fold there, but the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their desolate houses shall be full of doleful creatures and of owls, and shall dwell there, and satires shall dance there. The wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Okay? And that ties in with what it was saying within the book of Jeremiah, the 49th chapter. And then this is I'll finish it up on this. Okay, Isaiah 14 and 2, which is the next verse within this whole, which is within the bit. I read it says, for the Most High will have mercy upon Jacob, and yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. Okay, because we're not in our land. Our land, our home is not America. Our home is Jerusalem. Okay, and the strangers shall be joined unto them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them. Who we gonna take? Okay, we're gonna take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. We're gonna take these heathens, and they're gonna be our servants. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay, so what was worse? Okay, this enslavement of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans was worse. But see, there's going to be a turning upside. There's going to be a turning right side up. Okay, that the Most High is going to do when he comes back to put things in alignment. Okay, so with that, you know, hopefully that was of edification. I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Waharakah Kadash. Okay, double honors unto the apostles of GreatMillStone. Honest your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.